Hello friends, it's been a minute, but I'm back and already unboxing something. Also, do you love my t-shirt? We went to see Death Becomes Her on Broadway and it was honestly one of the best days of my life. I was so happy, so happy. It was the full original cast, and from what I gather, she would be nothing without the enormous knife. That's difficult, that's like rare to see the full cast. I don't know if it's because it's an older cast for a very physical show, and so they can't do every single performance. But from what I've read, it's like 50% of the time someone's out. And I actually got an email in May saying that Megan Hilty was, who she's like Madeline Ashton. Oh, it was so good. She wasn't going to be in our performance. And that was significant enough that they offered me a refund. But I was like, no, I really still want to go and see it. And Jennifer Stillard is still going to be there. And Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, she plays the Isabella Rossellini character. Anyway, I said, no, that's fine. And then she ended up being there anyway. It genuinely felt like all my Christmases had come at once. I was just crying watching it. I was so, so happy. Anyway, that's my t-shirt. Today, I'm making something new. So we've been looking for different things to launch for Christmas. And one of the things that we'd seen were these really cool, large matchboxes. And we'd kind of toyed with buying them in and having these like really fancy matchboxes be a thing that we were a reseller of, like be a stockist for these other people, buy them in wholesale, you get 50% discount and then you sell them on. The profit margin is not fantastic with that, obviously, but you're not having to buy anything. Another thing is you've got a large outlay and hoping that you sell these things. Because you can't really afford to sell them at a discounted price. You have to sell them at full price because you're already spending 50% of it to buy them. So that was something that we were considering doing. And then I thought, I wonder if you can get ceramic matchboxes, because I thought that kind of feels in keeping with our brand. You can. And then I thought, I wonder if I could make Jesmonite matchboxes. Couldn't find a mold that worked, but I did find one that I feel we could use as a matchbox. It's like a trinket box mold, but it's large enough for like safety matches, just. And I feel like we can make it work. So people would buy it as a matchbox and they could use it as a trinket box. Here it is. My only concern is, well, I'll show you. So here is the box. So this is like the mold of the box. This is what it's going to look like. The matches would go inside and then it has a lid. The problem I have with lids always is it goes one of two ways, but you don't have, like, it's not going to be smooth everywhere. With the box, the unsmooth side is going to be the bottom. With the lid, the unsmooth side is going to be the top, because that, I think, yeah, that goes there. So then this top section is not smooth. I always have a problem with this. I don't know, like, I just want it to be super, super smooth on top. So I was wondering if maybe I have something else that I could put on top of it, you know, like these. Could I? So if I like fill this up maybe a little over what it needs to be. I mean, that kind of fits. That kind of fits, right? And then if I put that on top, I think it needs to be something larger. I kind of want just like one large piece of silicone so that I can put something on top of this and it will set totally smooth. The problem is, even then, I don't know whether or not it will be, because the bubbles and things, that has to come up from somewhere. There has to be a solution to this. I'm going to have like this situation, like I could just put that on top. I just don't think it's going to do what I want it to do. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm going to make one and just see. On top of that, I want to try using some different glazes you can get from what I've looked online, and I don't know which one to try first, to be honest, because I've tried different things to seal these in the past, my Jesmonite creations, but I've seen people use them online that are like, they look like ceramic. They're like super, super glossy and very, very smooth, and you kind of dip it into the glaze. That's what I want. I want this to look really premium. Better not get this on my new favorite t-shirt. Of course I'm not going to get changed. That would be crazy. I am wondering whether or not this is going to take the same volume of material as the candle jars that I do. Because I feel it's misleading with these things. But I'm just making like one mixture, so 2.5 of the powder to 1 of the liquid. And then we'll see how much of it actually takes. Another thing is these seem pretty flimsy, so I think I need to get some stuff to put around them to like bolster them. Ooh, this feels like it's going to take a lot. This could be quite heavy, you know. Oh wow, that might not be even enough. I mean, I need to make some more to do the lid anyway, but wow. Okay. Well, bearing this in mind, these could be quite expensive to make. Taken out, you know, like the time and effort. This is definitely going to need something to hold it in at the sides. I've poured the lid. This is me trying to get rid of all of the bubbles. So like bring all the bubbles to the surface. And then I'm going to painstakingly pop them all and try and get a smooth top. At least something I can sand down, because if I sand this down, it's just going to have a ton of holes in it. This could be the thing, because whenever I've done a mould that's got a lid, I've given up on it. So this could be the thing that makes or breaks this entire idea. More so than the cost or the like amount of products that I need to use, it's the lid. So this is how I've braced the lid, and then this is a way more convoluted situation. Also, I've overfilled this now, so we'll see what this ended up looking like, but I've got like things holding this together. I don't think I could make multiples of this at once until I like build some kind of wooden structure to go around them. So because they need something to hold them in place square-wise, I can't use anything like this. It would need to be a totally flat piece of silicone, which you can get silicone sheets. So maybe I could get a silicone sheet and put something slightly heavy on it, even like a wooden board, just to kind of hold it flat while it has a brace around it. This is going to involve a lot more DIY than I anticipated. It's not feeling super worth it, I'll be honest. My plan originally was I was going to just do them all in white, and then I was going to hand paint them and glaze them, and they were going to be like a premium product. But already this feels like the initial making of the base product is going to be a lot more than I thought it was going to be. Moment of truth. Oh, do you know what? That looks a little bit off. Does that look like not? Maybe it's just from that side. Oh, this is going to take some serious sanding. But see the bottom? Look at that. Absolute perfection. And then this is the top. So I'm going to need to, obviously I overfilled the mould, which is on me. But I'm going to need to do some serious sanding to get the top to look anything like what I would want it to. Now, let's see. The bait. Oh my God, that is so heavy. This is not like a, oh my goodness. I don't even know what we would need to sell these for to make this make sense, to be honest. Oh, this could be quite difficult to demold. I'm glad I left it so long though, because I know that it's like hard enough to, I'm not going to break it because I feel like I'm being quite rough. Oh God, see? You see? I'm not sure where that came from, but hopefully it was the bottom. This is nice. This is like a really, let me just measure. I'm going to weigh this for you. Let's see what this weighs. Wow, that on its own is 650 grams. And then with the lid, obviously this is going to be sanded, but with the lid, that's nearly, what is 1,000 grams a kilo? It's like 920 grams. That is so heavy. That is so heavy. It's not perfect. You see there, it like needs, it's not perfectly square. Let's see if it works better that way. That might be better that way actually. But still, it's not perfect. And I wouldn't want to sand around here because this is like such a nice finish. It really is going to be, like the bottom is not so much of an issue, but it's going to be the top that causes me the headache to see if I can get it like sanded to a state that I feel looks the way I would want it to. Maybe if with the lids, I did something inlaid. Maybe with the lids, we could do like jewels or something that's intentionally not smooth and flat. You know, like pieces of jade or something, you know, like crystals. That might work. But I can't get over how heavy that is. There's no wonder that took so much material, because that is a really heavy situation. Let me show you. I just went to put it down and was like, whoa, nearly. So the idea is that you would put, I don't know if I've got any fresh matches, but you would put matches in here, and they do fit. I don't want to put like a used match in there and mess up the inside. I went and got a pack of matches. So, oh, it fits. They totally fit. I wasn't sure. Oh, that's actually perfect. In the mold itself, I felt like they didn't quite. But this is completely fit for purpose. So my idea is, this is for matches. You put that on top. Maybe you do like the match strips underneath. And then that is a beautiful match trinket box that you keep on the side. What do we think of this? I love the concept, but the amount of work that's going to have to go into making it look like what I want it to look, and having to individually cast each one, I'm not sure. Since it's summer and it's dry and not this is an old recycling thing that used to live in our cupboard. It was such a waste of space. Now all our recycling just lives on the side, as I'm sure you've seen. I have decided that the only way that this makes sense to sand things when it is dry and warm outside is outside, because it makes such a mess inside. Right, usually I wet sand, so let's see. It does help to sand things when they've been freshly made, like not too long ago. So you can see that there are holes from the air bubbles. This is what I was talking about. I don't know whether or not we can make that better, but definitely an improvement. Okay, I think that looks really smart. It's just about how I'm going to glaze it. So I'm just going to sand off the bottom now. Do you remember when I said I didn't want to get anything on this shirt? I mean, it'll dust away, but still. Right, I'm really happy with that. All but for the holes on the top, which I knew were going to be there. I am happy with the... Oh, that was... I can't get over how heavy it is. That looks really nice. It looks like a really solid trinket box. I think that looks like if you picked this up somewhere, you'd be like, oh, it's got heft to it. Now, this is totally plain. I like the idea of doing something on the top. But after I had the idea of the gemstones, I might have another go and do something where I put things, like intentionally put things on the top to make it so less sanding is involved and I don't have to worry about the holes. So let's have a second go. This is the test. I feel like this could... Oh, I need to put this on. Make it straight. I feel like this could work, you know. This could work. Different colored Jesmonite, different crystals. It could work. We're not going to be glazing today because I don't have the glaze that I want to test with today. But at some point, if anyone can recommend anything, I'm all ears. I was playing around with this gloss varnish from Sculpt, but it definitely left brush strokes, and that's not what I want. I want like a thinner. From what I'd seen, you can use some gloss varnishes as long as they're water-based. You can water them down. I think the one for Jesmonite is because Jesmonite is water-based, so that's why it's an eco resin. So I may do a whole video like testing different ones, seeing what the kind of finish is. But for now, let's see how this lid turns out. I'm excited about this one. Little stones falling on the ground. Hoping I've left it enough time. Yeah. We're good, we're good. It's warm, but it's not that warm. Okay. This could work. That's cute. I still think I would want to do, I mean, I've done various different finishes in the past, and I do like a wax as like a sealant for the whole thing, and that could work quite nicely with something like this. I personally would want like little amethysts or something, but we could do it with different stones. Let's demold the bulk of the thing, and I didn't overfill this time, so hopefully there'll be less sanding needed. I think I could probably do this one by hand. I'm very glad to have that electric sander. Ooh, it's a little bit wonky on the inside there. I might have squeezed the sides in a bit too much. Will the lid fit? Oh, it will. It will. Thank heaven. Oh, I think that's cute. Oh my God. I know this is very 90s, maybe a little bit passé, but seashells. Seashells. This kind of feels like sea glass, doesn't it? Right. I'm going to just quickly give this a once over. Mostly just around the edges. Make sure there's no like sharp areas. And then I'm going to see what different stuff I've got that we could seal this with. So this stuff is one of the sealants that I have liked to use in the past. It makes it, I mean, it's probably not 100% waterproof, but it makes it water resistant, and it does penetrate the Jesmonite for sure, because if you do this on a dark colour, it changes the colour. Like it seems to go into the material. So I'm just going to do a big thick coating of this everywhere, and then I'm going to leave it for a little while and kind of buff it all down. But I think this could work really, really nicely. If it was just going to be totally plain like this, then this is good. But I would really like to play around with some very, very glossy finishes just to get that ceramic feel. I'm not going to do the bottom because the bottom we're going to stick rubber feet on, and that might be a bit difficult to do on like a greasy surface. I'm so happy with this. This has turned out really, really nicely. It's, once this is all kind of buffed out, oh, look, I can't even. This is such a solid thing. I feel like people are going to love this, but I really need to take the time to price this up. I don't, when it comes to anything for our business, we don't like pay ourselves a specific wage. We don't factor in our time and labor to anything. We just work out profit margins. That is the only thing that really we can do, because it would be impossible. Some things take a lot longer to make than others. And if you're making a large batch of something, that could end up taking you a lot less time. Sometimes you need to make a smaller batch. It's just hard to do. We definitely aren't making a minimum wage between the two of us. That would be crazy, but it is sustaining itself, which is all we can ask at this point in the game. But we do need to make sure that we're at least getting a good profit margin for something if we're not factoring in our time. And that's going to be the only difficult thing with this, I think. But I think this is beautiful. Just look at it. Isn't that just so nice? A nice, like, heavy situation that for me would be for matches, but could be for anything. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know if you think it should be particular colours. Do you like the idea of the stuff on top? I mean, that does solve the problem that I was having, and it could be anything. But do you like the idea of the stuff on top, or do you think the hand-painted thing, I mean, it could be anything at all. Anything. All of the sides of everything and the bottom lid part, all of that is going to work every single time, but it's really the top. But I am definitely going to buy some silicone sheets and see if I can make that work. Anyway, thanks for watching. Happy to receive any feedback. Glad, what's the word I'm looking for? Appreciative of any feedback that anyone wants to give. Back now. I'm back. I feel like it's been weeks. We only took like a few days off to go away, and I feel like today I've like thrown myself back into everything all at once. I feel like I'm back. I missed my regular life. Even though I love being away, going places that I love to go. This was amazing. I do love my regular life. I do. I love being at home. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.